Hey there, I am JB and welcome to Orange County Kingdom. It has been a little while for reasons, but I guess I am back now that the days have gone colder. I'm very excited to see what the upcoming week is going to bring. And for today, what I would like to do is start off with the village. We're going to wait for a little bit with the castle until I exactly figure out what I want to do, because at this moment, I have no idea just yet. So the start of the village will be happening on this place right down here. I think I want to make use of the sand around in this area, slowly but surely going that way. We have like another little path going that way, I guess. I'm not sure if we can create sand, which I think I need to have a little look there at the wall. Ah, yes. Light green grass, I guess. Now, it might sound a little bit silly. I cannot remember it at all. Can we actually place down sand, as in place down dirt? Alright, let's see. Can we? Of course we can. Why wouldn't we be able to place sand? Which it looks like nothing ever happened here. Well, that is actually fantastic. Of course we can do that. Okay, but you get the idea there. I have like a nice piece of sand down there, which I want to use for the village. People stomp the ground a lot. And on this way, you know, no grass will grow. And I like to use the environment to lead my building projects because it makes it a lot more natural, right? Now, the one thing that I am going to need to do first is, of course, get rid of, let's say, most of these stones, at least the sandstones. I want to get rid of that. And or I'm just going to sit here with the rake for a couple of hours to make the ground, you know, a little bit more fair to say, because it's too spiky. Ah, yes, it's a lovely morning, and you know, the sun right now feels good on my face, even though I don't really feel it. Anyways, you might ask, well, JB, are you really going to just, you know, go around like that and do every inch and bit? Yes, I will, but I will not just do this randomly. I just want to make something like this first. And then I'm just doing everything within the inside so I know where I left off or when I'm finished. Then next I will just add another section, and yes, I'm not going to 100% do each and every bit and piece. I'm just gonna make a little area for myself. In this case it's gonna be a, I'll guess, 3 by 3. We're gonna get 9 squares. And you know, then when another section is done, I'm going to open it up. And this actually does like a couple of things. One, you keep an overview of the stuff you have already done. And two, it will reward you way better than you don't have any marking, because then the area looks absolutely ginormous and then it really feels like it is going to take forever. And on this way, you know, making some barriers, having some music, open things up once it's done, it is way lesser, you know, boring to say also. And so it is almost 1 hour later, but I have put up some music, I've enjoyed myself, and doing, you know, square by square makes it feel lesser like it is taking way too long. And in this case, you know, everything is smoothened out, and you can definitely see the difference between this down here and that, right? This looks better than that, and you know, this looks certainly natural, but we need to keep in mind people are stomping the grounds here for a very long time already. Now, the next thing that I would actually like to do is kind of aim out the middle, and I'm not talking about the middle of the square, well, slash-ish. I'm actually talking about the middle of, you know, this area. Like, what are we going to do with this? I think eventually we're gonna widen this pathway towards the castle, right? And I actually like this. This gives it a very weird randomness type of deal. So I'm thinking right down there. So, which in this case shouldn't be losing the point. It is okay if I, you know... Oh. It's okay if I'm a little off, but it's just about the idea here that it slashes in the middle of that line, and it also needs to be slashes in the middle right down there. I think that will be insanely perfect, so I'm just gonna adjust it. That will be the middle. The thing is, I'm gonna make a well. Every medieval village, city has like a well somewhere, and I'm not planning on to, you know, make everything into concrete and stone and whatnot. because you know, we already see a lot of that stuff, and I want to make this still in a nice little village, and all the stone stuff will be up there at the castle. Now I just don't want to make just a well, right? I want to make a well that has a little bit of extra. You know, when you come at it and then look in the well, you'll be like, well, what do we have here? You know, that kind of deal. So in this case, I'm just gonna roughly aim out like, okay, I want to have the well this kind of size. I need to look through the eyes of the character in order to decide, you know, is this well enough, or does it need to be bigger? I will stop with the silly joke. And then around, I want to make a little bit of stone type of deal. So yeah, what we can do is, you know, have a little step up, because, you know, water, and we don't want to get the ground muddy, right? That is the whole idea why there could be like a little circle of stone around the well. Yeah, I want to dig a hole in here. I'm not going to do that right now. I want to dig a hole in it, and you know, who knows where this hole is going to lead up to, and what are we going to do with it. But this is for now what I would like to do. Now, of course, I still have the big list of people with suggestions what I could be adding to the kingdom, but more ideas is always better. And it doesn't need to be like gigantic things like, oh, whole buildings and a forest and a farm. It could also be smaller things like, hey, maybe you need like a little, not sure what it's called, a log inventory, which you basically build like a little shack, and you put logs in there in order to keep it dry just a little bit, something like that. It could be a line of two poles with a line between it, and you know, you just hang up your clothing. You know, all kinds of smaller ideas are also definitely welcome, like the little details. And so we be here in the editor. Now I want to keep the well simple, just like I'm going to build everything simple in the game, which basically means that I'm going to make use of the bricks how they're supposed to be used, and this is going to save me a lot of trouble. Because once you build like a whole town, city, farms, everything together, you're going to have a little bit of lag at some point. And so in this case, I recommend to always make multiple models to see what satisfies you and if things meet your requirement. My requirement is actually this one is not going to be it, and the reason why this one is not going to be it is because I needed to use an extra piece which is not on grid, and if I put it on grid, what happens? Things start to glitch out, and that is something that I don't want, even though this looks the best round model, because this one here looks very weird thick down here, this one looks way too thin down here. So in the end, I'm gonna guess that this one is perfect. Like I've been saying, I'm gonna go for performance rather than beauty, because with performance you can build a lot more without having too much lag. Now the next thing that I'm going to need to do here is grab this guy, place it elsewhere for now, because I'm going to need to fix the ground level. Long story short, we need to have like a floor that comes with it, right? Now the only problem that I already noticed is that using these blocks is not going to work out, because it has like this shadow effect, which from this side looks fine, and if we rotate this upside down, then yeah, it looks weird. And also where we're going to need to meet the points, it is also going to look very weird. So long story short, I'm kind of forced to use different blocks, which also I should be keeping in mind. I'm thinking of it to use these guys first, and I'll guess to add in a little bit of differences in how it looks. Just gonna move these offside first, and then would, you know, close it up like that, and then we slightly going to make it look round. Once again, I'm going to use these guys, give it a bit extra, and I'll guess one more would do. And I want to see something here. Could we? I guess we could, but I'm gonna change my mind on this one. What I'm first going to try is see if I can round things off right down here. So we're gonna make this guy down there, which I'm gonna need an extra block down here. And then, you know, take care to see how other stuff is going to look like. And I think this is a nice round corner, so I'm going to add this to everything. Just like that. And then see if I can fill in the blank. Not going to be possible with these guys, so I'm going to use those guys. Slash is randomly fill in the blank. Make it look a little bit randomized, as you can see. Perfect. I guess it all depends on the angle you look like, because these facing that way and these facing that way. It's okay. It's all going to be fine. Now I do notice for some reason, I'm not sure what in the world is going on. I'm trying to select certain blocks and why can I not select this block? There we go. Not sure what's going on. I noticed the editor does a bit funky. My FPS at this moment is between 150 and 180. Doesn't always seem to react as it used to be. Okay, that is done. So the next thing here is we're gonna grab this show. Well, you know what? Let's just first put this into a group like that. Take this guy, put it into a group. Then we're going to need to decide the height. But in this case, I will have a little problem if I'm going to stack these, because then things look like different. Anyways, I'm going to grab these guys and I'm going to change a little bit the way how it looks, which in this case that wouldn't make a lot of sense. Then this guy in the middle, like that, and place it to its spot. And now it looks perfect. Yes, this, but you know, you cannot have everything. Okay, cool. Then there is one more thing left to do, and that is basically test and see how the height feels and the size of the well before continuing. Which in this case, it's okay. You cannot really look in there, but then again, we humans can do stuff that, no, I wanted to say NPCs can, but we are PPC. playable character. Okay, the only thing that I had to change was the ground floor once before, because I've been using like these blocks here, and as you can see, if I would add these blocks along with those ones, then it doesn't, you know, look different. So in this case, 1, 1 and a 2, I've replaced that. Okay, so before we're going to mess with the stuff on top, we are going to need to think about the ground. And just for that, I'm just gonna raise it up, something like this. I'm gonna grab a ladder, because we want to be able to get into the well, right? And I think, which sometimes happens, wooden ladder. I think this tall one would be the best one. And then we're just gonna add it. It's a shame that the wooden ladder doesn't, you know, completely attach. Help us. If you're watching my episodes as always. Yeah, be sure to change that. I know a lot of stuff will get broken, but yep. Anyways, I'm gonna add this to the ground group. So now we know the depth of the well / is. I'm going to raise it up a couple of blocks, because we need to keep in mind that if we're going to play it, we can always reach higher than the ladder needs to be, right? Which in this case, if we would do that, we spawn on top. So that is very good. I like that a lot. Okay, so now we have the height. We can, well, you know what? I'm gonna raise it even more. Get a nice deep well. But at least I know now what the final height needs to be. Then we can make everything that goes into the ground, and then make like a little opening for a tunnel or whatever we are going to do with that. In this case, I'm just going to duplicate it, then just say one more. Because this was something that I had my eyes onto, and then we move. Yep, remove that one. Select everything but the ground. Put it like that. Wonderful. And then long story short, it's going to be super simple. I'm going to select these guys and then just move it below here. And then just give it a slight little look, like, how is that looking? That is looking fine. The only thing that I'm going to change, since stuff will be in the ground, is actually the outside. Because we are not going to be able to see that, or with other words, I'm going to remove that stuff. I'm going to take the one below. I'm going to add it to the top group. And then with that being done, beautiful. And I'll put it on its spot. And it's basically copy and paste until we meet the ground. Alright. Also, for reference height, This is gonna take the Egyptian dude with a hat on, so I kind of know like which one I'm going to select. It will be those, and then break the group and add it to this one, so it's now a whole without I have to be afraid. Hello, I thought you were whole. Okay, you know what? Let's take the top one. I think what's going on is that the character is blocking it. There we go. So break this open, because what I want to do here is I want to, you know, build a slight bit of a tunnel idea, and then put one of these big boys on top. Beautiful. And then of course one final test is take your character and just you know, do what needs to be done. And there we go. We got a beautiful well with an entrance and a piece of a tunnel that allows us to make it look good. I think I'm gonna send to developers a log file because something is up. Alright, I've been writing a report to the developers, and of course I've restarted my game, so let's see how things go for right now. We are going to need to make something on the top of well, so clean rainwater doesn't get into the clean well. I'm not really maybe it's because of bird poop, I would assume. It's gonna be real nasty if birds take a poop in here, and then, you know, you're gonna get sick. Let's try that again. Oh yeah, and also notice my character here for some reason gets stuck. Well, we can at least get up and out. But can we also get out and in and down there? Yes, we definitely can. Beautiful. And I think I'm just gonna increase the height so, you know, we don't get this annoying thing. But very important, this works. You know, I'm just listening to Red Hot Chili Peppers and I want to listen more, but probably enough. Or maybe not, I'll have to continue. So this is what I've chosen. I've made myself a little color scheme right down here. So these are the ones for the blocks. Then I took the color randomizer. You can find everything about it into my Discords. So then I have added color 1 to 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. And then I just randomized the colors and I came up with this. Yes! This and... oh boy. Whatever, right? It at least is not like one type of deal, and I've chosen to make the cement within darker instead of always having the cement lighter and then the stones darker, that kind of stuff. That's kind of odd. Oh yeah, I have to do that right down here, of course. Set everything to non-pickable so we don't pick up anything by accident. I was thinking I need to select it in the menu, then select this dude as last. And then we can make it into a blueprint and place it, which it will look like this. And I think it looks fantastic. Yes, the grid block isn't perfectly on the ground, but that was not the whole point of it. It's just to take care that, you know, that stuff is sinking in a little bit. I removed the blocks and yeah, I need to fill in the blank, and then going to dig a bit of a hole, and then you will see also why I made like this extra piece of stone and why I created the whole show with the wall down below. All right, away you go, and there we have the well, and I think it looks very well. I accept these colors onto the roof. I think it looks very well. I'm not doing that on purpose because yes. Anyways, it's now time to get in here and see if we can get it going. Oh, there we go. I was like, it takes a little long there. And then with that being done, I can't get onto the ladder from here. You know, I tested this stuff in the game. I mean, there is one block underneath. Is it because there's some stuff on it, or what are you crying about all of a sudden? I freaking tested it. Can't climb ladder. Well, maybe it's because I'm not deep enough into the ground. It could also be possible, so... oh, Lord Heaven, thank you, please. Thank you. Yes, okay. Everything looks good. I'm freaking happy. But I was sure that I tested things to see if it worked well. I mean, good. Yeah, beautiful. Look at that. I got myself a little thing here, and as the title subscribe, there is something secret in here, and I'm gonna stab you guys in the back. I want you to think with me what we are going to do. What will the secret be? Because it can be anything that is in here, or maybe leads to something. Maybe we should make like a crazy overgrown cave idea out of it, or maybe we should just, you know, put a slice of bread down like this, you know. I mean, it could be anything, right? I'm gonna take it back because I'm hungry. Yeah, anyways, I think this looks fantastic, and not only that, look at the sun under in this game, it's also fantastic. So from now on, we're going to do an episode. The heck is this? Yeah, that looks a lot better. Anyways, as I wanted to say, from now on we're going to have an episode each week again. I'm going to think of small little things that we can do, and so slowly but surely build up this kingdom as I wanted to do before the summer start terrorizing my channel. And of course, maybe I will just have a couple of like quick build episodes where we just build multiple buildings. And then yes, of course, the castle. I'm going to think like, what do I want to do with it, and when I'm going to do that. Okay, so for now, I hope you like my sorry about the well jokes, but oh well. There's something in here. What could we do in here? You know, all the couple of ideas were nice, right? And I mean, digging out a tunnel all the way to the castle is gonna be a little bit cuckoo. Not impossible though. Could have a escape route towards a building, or